Should I play the? This feels weird.
We're hitting the whole intro sequence.
Well, I don't have anything else to do. I don't know. I'm not just gonna raw hit the button.
I'm gonna raw hit the button.
Hello. Welcome to Not Shrimp Hours.
This is not the podcast, which doesn't feel right to say because we have the podcast screen up and we have the music going, and it just.
What else you want me to do?
This just feels like the podcast.
I literally have nothing else. I don't have another song to play.
I don't have anything else other than this podcast. God damn it! This is all I have left.
Hello. Welcome to the spoiler cast of F1 the movie.
This is just the media check-in. This is all this is.
But with spoilers, because I didn't want to ruin anyone's experience. So if you have not watched F1 the movie, watch it. Pause this video.
What the fuck are you doing? First of all, what the fuck? Why did you click on a video that was like, we're talking about F1 the movie, and you haven't watched the movie?
This thing has an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is kind of insane.
I don't have any F1
like, genuinely
movie
surprised.
literature up in front of me right now. Let's see what is this about. F1 the movie.
Yeah, okay. All the F1 journalists basically said that.
Are you so glad that they called it
F1
and not just something completely stupid? Like I saw one that was like Apex. It was like.
No, I'm glad they just called it F1. Unfortunately, I don't know if it lived up to the name, to be honest with you.
I'm curious, like, because I'm like, there's a bunch of stuff that you caught onto that just completely went over my head because I don't give a fuck. Like the Fernando Alonso bit,
funniest moment in the entire movie. The one Fernando Alonso bit is after they I think it's in Hungary where they start just wrecking everyone. Insane, by the way. They just start running into everyone, and somehow that does them better because no one else can figure out that they're running into everyone. And then after the race, Fernando Alonso's like, "Hey, what's up?" to Brad Pitt, which is funny because that bit was based off of when Flavio Briatore made Nelson Piquet Jr. crash in a wall on purpose to gift Fernando Alonso a win. So it was funny that it's like, there's Alonso.
Oh. Yeah, see that
much better cameo than Toto Wolff's cameo, which is one like.
Do you want to drive for Mercedes? Like, come on over, bro.
In the final race of the season, Lewis Hamilton's leading. Joshua Pierce takes him out of the lead to give Brad Pitt the win, and then Toto's like,
"I didn't even think about that.
If you ever want to drive a Mercedes, come talk to me." It's like,
he
just took your guy out of the win, like.
I didn't even think about like the implications of Lewis and Josh getting just fucking destroyed.
And he also congratulated him like he won the race. It's like, no, bro, wrecked. Like he wasn't even on the podium. This okay. I'm impressed with some of the details they got right. Like some of the things they got really right. But so much, like, the overall story is fucking insane.
There was, so the biggest, like, the one thing I walked out, or I guess, like, during the movie that just completely broke my immersion was that it was, like, supposedly January, like, right after the Rolex, and the team owner was like, yo, we're, like, races deep into F1, we fucking suck. It's like, did they start the season in December? Like,
the timeline is completely bonkers.
Yeah.
Because of that one, it's January, and he's like, there's 9 races left. And he's like, oh shit, I guess I'm not going to drive to Baja. Instead, I'm going to go to Britain. And then he does 9 races, and then somehow still goes to Baja at the end. Like that. they just
I was
left
assuming
that.
It was the next year, but...
Yeah, the same newspaper clipping. I don't know, whatever.
That's a good point.
But some of the details they got right. In the Abu Dhabi race, there's a red flag with like 2 laps to go, and the stupid commentary, which I'll talk about more in a bit. They're like, oh, because they didn't make it to Q3, these guys actually have 1 extra set of soft tires, so they have an advantage. And I was like, damn, okay. Like, that's true. That's exactly how it would work.
I apologize, F1 the movie. I wasn't familiar with your game.
But the whole story is fucking insane, where these guys have 0 points. They've raced 2.5 seasons, 0 points, and then they run into each other. Brad Pitt says, make the car work in dirty air, and then they win a race. It's insane. I would have loved to see like a good underdog story of like dudes working their ass off for like a single point, and then that saves the team, because that's what actual F1 is like.
Yeah.
Nobody goes from 0 points
The
to just
biggest
winning a
jump
race.
for me was like, yeah, it was like Brad Pitt had to pull off all this shit for them to score 1 point in 10th, and it was like 2 races later, and it was just like, hey, we're both in the top 3 with fucking
Yeah.
Max Verstappen. It
Yeah.
was like, what?
Listen, I understand. Like, I knew going into the movie that there's going to be some stupidity, and I was like, oh no, the F1 fans on Twitter are going to be like, fucking his name on the overlay
Yeah.
should be HAY, not HYS, and like stupid shit like that. But the whole plot of the movie is just absurd. It's completely bonkers.
I will say, like, I alluded to it yesterday, but I walked in with literally like, I'm not gonna like anything but the action sequences, and I came away and I was happy because I was like, dude, the fucking action sequences were fantastic.
But every fucking action sequence, you just have Crofty and Martin Brundle blabbing away the
that is
entire
true.
time, telling you exactly what's happening.
Dude, so like a lot of that I do wish like we just got to see instead and like figure out like
Yeah.
all the shit with him in like 93 in the Spanish Grand Prix or whatever. If he would have just like if they would have just like alluded to it rather than being like he was a young prodigy that got wrecked and retired from F1. It's
Yeah,
like fucking
let us
Rick
figure
Allen's
it
on the
out
call.
let us figure it out from the thing, and you go back and then you find out that, oh, like the Spanish guy was his teammate back in the day, that's why they're so close and that's why he's willing to do it. You go back and you find out that, you know, he crashed into whatever Ayrton Senna at Brands Hatch. I guess they kind of did that. Like, you find out later that he got thrown out of the car and no one helped him or whatever. Which I think is based off of a real wreck. All of the wrecks were like kind of real. The Monza one was fucking insane. It was a combination of like the F4 guy that got launched and then it turned into a Grosjean situation out of nowhere.
I could not help but burst out laughing when I saw the car like 30 feet in the air. So like everybody got quiet except me, and I started laughing in the theater. Like I just started like giggling, and my buddy I was watching the movie with was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
well, it is actually based off of a real thing.
It's
Alexander
the F2, yeah, I know.
Peroni. I've not heard of this guy since then, but yeah, it's literally for those who haven't seen it, that's not centered. It's based off of this Formula 3 crash where this dude hits the sausage curve and gets launched. And then he lands in his fucking Grosjean. The positional accuracy of things, I was actually really impressed with. I thought that there would be like one shot you're in one corner, the next shot they're on like the other side of the track. But everything was actually like really positionally accurate.
Yeah.
It was just fucking absurd.
Yeah, all the racing stuff I think that they like marketed the movie on was like killer, like really good.
Dude,
in terms of just like
Jerry loves his, and whoever the director is, what the fuck's his name?
The spinny cam, dude. I was gonna
Kaczynski.
throw up.
He loves his spinny cams. He loves
dude.
Going, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's like
I didn't watch Top Gun Maverick, but I know that like that's similar. Yeah.
There was one banging shot at the start. The very first time they show Silverstone and Pierce is doing laps. There's like
the one from like the aerial that like comes down.
It goes all the way into the onboard.
Dude, and the music.
Driving.
Okay, so like I didn't love the score, but I will say that fucking hit when the camera came down and the music swelled, and you just see the car go over the mountain, and it's just fucking F1. I was like, the first like 10 minutes or something of the movie, like I was just giddy, like watching the whole like Rolex sequence. The one thing that was weird about that, where it was like the fucking fireworks are like going off in the middle of the track, and he's like bumping running people in turn 3.
I have a lot of beef with the Rolex scene because it's like
I was
it's midnight.
I enjoyed it.
It's like midnight. Brad Pitt, he gets up, he gets in the car, he's like, damn, we're in 7th, and I'm like, oh cool, so he's gonna jump in the car, and then over the course of his stint he's gonna work to the front. And it's like, no, he goes out there and in 2 laps he somehow goes from 7th to 1st. The car's in 7th, right?
Bang.
And you see it on the scoreboard. He gets in the car, he gets out of the pits, 2 guys pass him, and then he's still in 7th somehow.
You're gonna hate me. I'm so sorry.
On cold ass. Are you leaving? Are you actually?
I've told you I'm making chicken wraps, buddy.
My God. Why did you? Anyway, I was just talking about how stupid the IMSA scene was. and how like I don't why did he we're 12 hours into the race or whatever, 14 hours into the race, and he gets in the car, goes from 7th to 1st in the course of like 2 minutes, and then it's just like, the race is over, nothing else happened. Like, what did he do during his first stints? What did he do? What did the other guys do? Like, they drove a car in the actual 24 hours of Daytona.
For purposes, you're just supposed to know that he's fucking cracked. He's Sonny fucking Hayes, dude. Like, let's go.
Yeah, but it doesn't take away from the story to make it not stupid.
That's true, but
like, what is the point of him going out there and just like that could have taken place over the course of several hours, and it would still be sick, and it wouldn't be stupid. That's a lot of my beef with the movie as well. It's like, it could have been sick. It could have been just as cool and less stupid. Like, they don't gain anything by making it stupid. I don't understand.
I think a lot of it too, like I guess the disparity in how much we enjoyed it is that I just know fucking nothing about all these different disciplines and like, everything about them. So I don't know, like I was just a little NASCAR nerd in there having a good time. I will say, yeah, there were things I had to like actively suspend my disbelief for. Like you're telling me, yeah, like Sonny Hayes doesn't get fucking crucified by the FIA after that one race where, like, dude, he was
a lap car. He's just blocking the leaders and shoving them off the track.
I turned to my buddy. I was like, he would be literally executed if he did this in real life. Like, he would never be allowed in the series again.
And then they're just like, oh, they want us to start at the back of the grid because they don't like the way we race. And it's like, no, that's illegal. Everything you've done. Also, just another random point. I saw the Daytona scene, and then he had the thing where it's like, oh, it was Baja 1000 driver needed. I was like, hell yeah, we get to see him race some Baja. I never did.
Oh yeah, and you don't see shit.
It is fucking funny that at the end of the movie they're like, nah, actually he has like serious back injuries, so he can't really race an F1. So because his back is injured, he's going to the Baja 1000 where you fucking bounce up and down all day. I'm just glad they cut that one scene that they got caught filming in Vegas where he was fucking walking around all dazed after catch fencing the car in Las Vegas.
I didn't know about that. What?
Did you not see that? No. I remember seeing that on Twitter way back in the day. They had, look. Let me see if I can find this.
Yeah, I'm looking. We are checking.
Just looking up on YouTube, F1 movie caught filming Las Vegas. I tried my best to, yeah, here we go. I tried my best
NASCAR.
to not look at this stuff when it was happening. Because everyone on Twitter, I don't know why they wanted to post this. But yeah, they have this whole bit where he's walking around dazed and confused. Like, he just got out of the car and he fucking passes out. And I am so glad they didn't include that.
I will say, okay, like besides the one Joshua Pierce wreck, I did have a good time with the wreck. Like I got my sport enders. I appreciated it.
This team is around. They have 9 fucking races, and they send both drivers to the goddamn hospital.
That was crazy.
Jerry loves his fucking hospital scenes. It's like
Days of Thunder too, yeah.
Yeah, dude, he loves his hospital. You bet your ass NASCAR Days of Thunder 2 is going to have a shit ton of hospital scenes.
Dude, Tom Cruise is getting in an Austin Dillon catch fence wreck, and he might die in the hospital.
Dude, he's going to the hospital. The other dude's going to the hospital. Everyone's going to the hospital.
This is completely unrelated.
F1 was cool with that, but...
Can you imagine, like, Dale Sr. 2001, but it's Steve Phelps at the podium instead of Mike Hilton? Like, it's just fucking, like, Steve Phelps' little rat face, and he's just like, yeah, Dale Sr.'s dead, dude.
Also, fucking Spanish guy, just to go back to the plot real quick. Spanish guy calls in his old buddy, this guy that no one's ever heard of because he fucking fucked around for like a year in F1 and left. This guy shows up, wrecks the car in his first test, goes to the first race. Practice and qualifying doesn't exist in this universe, obviously. Goes to the first race, wrecks his teammate. No one would ever call this guy back, let alone be like, Yes, now I will make the car for combat because you told me to. Which, another point. How do you run an F1 team with only one person designing the entire race car? I don't understand it. Every fucking scene with this girl is like just in an empty room. Everyone else is gone. There's no money. It's just her alone, like running CAD simulations.
Yeah, she's
It's
just
the
fucking
goddamn
spamming the
wind
button
tunnel,
of.
and it's like just her and that one strategy lady, and that's it. That also really annoyed me. There were just
Dude.
not enough people. They had no
Well,
dudes.
On the contrary, I feel like they were fishing so hard for an antagonist. Like if they had just stuck with one, I feel like it would have landed a lot better. Like if it was like between him and Joshua the entire movie, like I would have respected it a lot more. But then they throw in this random fucking investor at the end that's just like, yeah, we're gonna buy out the
He
team,
was
and
the worst.
yeah, and it's just it's the cliche like guy that you hate, and then like he's like rooting against the team, and they just cut to him being pissed while all the other people are happy, and it's
Over
like
and over and over. The last race sequence.
And then yeah, he like comes up to Sonny and he's like, "Hey, by the way, I'm gonna buy the team and you're gonna be the team principal." And it's like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I don't mind the plot line because I feel like that kind of shit does happen in F1. Where there's like behind the scenes.
But it just felt
big
so out of
suit
nowhere. Like that
drama.
was my genuine movie criticism, was that just like in terms of pacing and things happening, it was just like, I don't know. It was almost like an F1 car where you're going a million miles per hour and then you're just fucking crawling. And then you're going a million miles per hour again. Things are happening and then fucking just nothing happens. And then, by the way, can we talk about the ethical dilemma of Sonny Hayes getting in and doinking the fucking main strategy girl immediately? Like they've been together for like 5 races and then all of a sudden they're just fucking. Like it's like,
It's like they're like, yeah, she's the first ever female technical director in Formula One, and then it's like Brad Pitt shows up, and then they're just at it in Vegas.
yeah, it's just like, oh wow, they're having did Joshua, like his whole beef with Sonny is like, what do you mean? Like it was because he's like mad at him after the crash in Monza, when it's like you explicitly like
He wasn't mad at
defied
him
his
after the
advice.
crash in Monza. His mom was.
Yeah. I thought that was the like whole point where he like that one scene where he's like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna beat him. It was like I thought that's how I took it.
Did I read that wrong? I thought it was just his mom because he like overheard that conversation when he was in one of several hospital scenes. And then he
Yeah,
jumps in the
that's true.
simulator and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was wrong." Which also, the simulator, really impressed with that. That they got that right. It's like a legit F1 sim with
Well, yeah,
the
like,
dudes
I
on the
think it's like
computers
all
and everything.
Lewis like being involved. Like I think
Well,
they were
not
talking
with the
about,
fucking story, clearly.
dude. I knew it was Lewis Hamilton involved. I turned to my buddy because I was like, dude, there's no fucking way that this would be Lewis Hamilton. Like, this is Max Verstappen all day. Like, what do you mean he's
It's
fucking
literally
fighting
like,
off?
what if we had a team full of Max Verstappens and the FIA just turned a blind eye the entire time? I understand the
Ace.
want to do like the Cowboys show up and give them hell, kind of Ted Lasso style. But like, I feel like it can be good without being stupid.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, like, despite all the shit I'm talking, I did walk out of the movie like happy. I was like, dude, yeah, it was like everything I wanted was just mindless garbage with cars flying into catch fences and people dying. It was like, yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I don't know. I didn't want mindless garbage personally. They spent so much goddamn money that.
Well, again,
It's
our
just a shame that
expectations are
those,
a lot
like-
like if they make a NASCAR movie like that, I'm gonna be pissed because like NASCAR is my little baby, and if they portray it inaccurately, I'm gonna be upset.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
F1 deserves better.
I do feel like like I feel like they could have gone so many places that would have been better. I don't know, that just would have been more like just less cliche, because it was one of those movies where you walk in and you just like automatically know exactly what's coming next, and it's like I would have appreciated some sort of throw in or
Every step,
something.
like, dude, they do this the poker on the table in the bar scene,
Yeah, it's like you
and
knew
the
that he
guy
had the
goes
winning
all
hand.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I won." And the guy folds, and it's like, okay. I thought he was gonna leave, and then she's gonna flip the cards and be like, "Oh wow." Then he like does it himself. You don't even get that satisfaction.
Yeah, no, it's like again, like you know exactly what's happening. The other part of it I didn't enjoy was like I was talking about earlier, where it's just yeah, they just go from like struggling to score a point to all of a sudden I'm just supposed to believe that they're like
Just because they have a different floor piece? Like, are
I
you
was
kidding
dude, I
me?
was sitting in the theater when it was right before Pierce wrecked when he's like going to the outside or whatever, and I was like, are we doing this now? I was like, what? Like how are we already here? I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah. I also like that would leave much more room for a sequel, I feel like, which now they say they want to do a sequel. Uh but
Oh,
like
like the next step or like the
it's gonna be them
ascension.
going for the championship, I guess. I I still just can't believe they went from like this team has never scored a point to like, oh my god, we got our first points, woo, to like if he doesn't die and goes around, he could have passed Max Verstappen and just won a race. From like a brand new, like, think about Haas. Haas joined F1 in 2016. Can you imagine they win a race like within 3 years?
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely like untapped potential where it's like if they spent all that time and energy and money and like on an actual compelling story, it would be so incredible. It would be
And to have
life
more
changing.
people in the scenes with the team. There's that one shot where they're in the McLaren thing and he first shows up, and there's like actual
It
extras,
did feel
and then
very
there's just no
separate
one.
from the actual like paddock. Like even
Yeah.
like it was just like yeah, they were just
If
there
they had more
while the
people, I feel like it would feel way more intertwined
well even
versus
like
like,
the one driver scene where they were like panning across the entire grid and it's just there's the fucking Apex boys at the very end. Like they were like, oh, yeah, go run in
well,
there.
that's
And
just
like I
because you're
get it.
used to the
I
drivers.
I don't know.
Did you pick up on any of the music from F1 the album?
The like this actual score, yeah.
There were like
But man, none of the
two
actual like
scenes with music where I was like, cool. But these guys put out this whole album of apparently of music in the movie, which I'm sure is probably like in the background of some of these scenes. And they pull this crazy list of stars on this goddamn album.
oh yeah, no, not that one. I don't remember any of those people.
It's just funny because like I hardly noticed the music at all. There was
Well,
definitely some Hans Zimmer bits.
that was my biggest complaint, I think, with the score is that I don't know, with like a, yeah, like a name like Hans Zimmer, like I'm expecting fucking a generational masterpiece of a score. And yeah, like it didn't add anything. It was like, okay, here's like cool, I guess, like orchestra with electronic, whatever. And I I listened to the entire like backstory of it because they did like a video on it, and it's like I think the idea behind it is really cool. It's just not very like it's not executed very well. Where it's like the orchestra was supposed to represent like the man in the equation, and then the electric is supposed to be like the machine. So it's all supposed to like mesh together, like as in like the car and the driver like meeting together.
I'm sure it would have been
Like
cool if we could hear it, but everyone's just explaining how the movie's gonna go
yeah, and
over
like yeah,
top of the
fucking
movie.
yeah, again. Let me go back to fucking yeah, Toto or not Toto, Crofty and Brundle just fucking just yeah, laying everything out explicitly. Like there's just no room for interpretation
And not
whatsoever. You
just
don't.
them. There is a lot of just exposition in general, but I feel like that was it felt very Drive to Survive when they're like, boom, we're at the track, here's the track, and then it's Crofty and Brundle just spitting out some fake stuff where they're like, Max Verstappen leads into turn one, and then in 19th place, this thing is happening. Like
Yeah,
they'd be talking
yeah.
about that.
I noticed that really with the Silverstone thing where it was like
Yeah.
yeah, there were like one lap to go and they're just talking about fucking Joshua Pierce and Sonny Hayes dicking each other around for 20th.
There were also
Also,
some
Joshua
oh, go
Pierce
ahead.
like just yeah, what like what was his character? Like, I just like some of the shit that he would do where I was just like, what are you doing? Like the one bit where like Sonny Hayes comes up to him, is fucking pissed. He's like, ah, fuck you. Like you did all this shit. And then they realize the people are watching him and he just
And
starts
then he
fucking
just
like
starts
dancing. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
It's like,
weird.
it was like,
No
what
one would
human
do
has
that.
ever acted like this ever? Like,
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something fun now. Oh,
I thought it was. Go ahead.
some of the physics. There's some visual effects that like you can catch in your brain as like uncanny. A lot of the Silverstone, like a lot of the Abu Dhabi shots at the end, they clearly got time with a bunch of the cars and flew around with a bunch of cameras. But there were a lot of shots in like the Silverstone race where like all the other cars are real and you can see there's just like a 3D Apex car comped in. They do a good job of hiding it in like fast shots and stuff, but I was like, damn,
I
that car's not
actually,
real.
I walked out impressed. I mean, maybe it's just, where did you sit in the theater?
Seat
Yeah, like
middle
where in relation to the screen?
in front of it. In the middle of the theater. What difference
I
does
don't know
it
if
make?
it changed. Yeah, I don't know if it changed any, like, because I didn't pick up on any of the CGI, I feel like, and maybe it's just because I don't know, like, I don't know the spot the differences between the car that they used and the actual cars, but like I walked out really impressed. I was like, damn, like I genuinely couldn't tell. I recognized at least some of like the real racing scenes, like the one I think it was the one of the Red Bulls like had like hopped a wheel at the very start and
The
crashed. I recognized that,
classic Checo Mexico start.
and then the other being the Lewis Hamilton pass on Leclerc in the grass. I recognized that one too, but
I'm sure it would be
like
really fun to go back and like compare the shots to wherever they stuck in the cars.
I
Have to
thought
wait
that
for a
was a
streaming
cool like
release, obviously.
bit of integration, like to actually like showcase racing that happens as opposed to just like a bunch of manufactured stuff. It was like, oh, like, this is an actual showcase of the sport. It's like what the whole movie's about.
Oh, the
What?
actors strike actually made them it looks like they had to switch to a lot of British actors. Maybe that's why the crew is so small for a lot of the races.
I guess that makes sense. So it was like just the British crew that was filming.
In like parts of 2023. I don't know. I'm sure there's more information from smarter people on that.
That checks out.
Um, yeah, I don't know. You spend all this money on a movie and then it's like kind of dumb. I think that's what hurt me. It was still like sick. Like I was still super into it. Especially the last bit in Abu Dhabi, even though I knew how I was gonna finish. It was still very tense.
I will say that was like one of the moments where it took me aback was I did genuinely think that Sonny was just gonna let like Joshua have the moment, and then it was like, oh, Joshua and Lewis fucking kill each other. I was like, oh, okay. I guess so.
Yeah, it is kind of the opposite of sort of how you would expect the story to go, where the old guy like at the very end lets the kid win, and it's like woo.
Mm-hmm.
Like no, the kid fucking murders Lewis Hamilton on the final lap of the race just to give Brad Pitt a win.
I did like too the fucking the whole where they go out for a beer scene. And he's like explaining that the car needs to be built for combat, and there's just no elaboration. It's just it needs to be built for combat. And I'm just
It's
like,
it needs to work in the dirty air, and he's like, okay,
like
does it all herself.
wow, like how fucking that would have been great, as if she was just like, yeah, how revolutionary that a car needs to work in turbulent air. Like she just fucking throws the beer in his face and walks out. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Formula One. Here's the first ever female technical director, and this fucking
yeah, she
old
needs
man
this
walks
fucking
up,
washed
tells
up
her what to
prodigy,
do,
yeah,
puts it in her in Vegas, and then fucks off. Stupid. And we could tell. Like,
do we know what happens after that? Like, do they just doink in Vegas and it's over? Or?
Yeah, she was like, "See you around. Hold on to this." And they smooch, and then he leaves. Like the first trailer when it was like the "We Will Rock You" one, it was like, "Oh, cool! This is sick! All these cool shots." And then the second one is when he was like, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, they're all fast in the straights. We need to beat them in the corners. We need to prepare our cars for combat. Who said anything about being safe? Oh man. I guess I should have known from that
Plan
point that they
C
just
for chaos, and it's just
turn the cheese up. Oh
yeah, just him fucking running people off the road, just generally being not only a bastard but a danger to society.
and the other drivers just don't care, apparently. The FIA just does not care. No one else exists. Can you imagine if you did that to Kevin Magnussen, what the fuck he would do to you? Or Max Verstappen? I mean, Ocon took him out that one time in Brazil and he gave him a big old shove after the race. If you use a lap car, like hold him up so that your teammate can catch and pass. Insanity.
Well, yeah, and it's like, where do you go from here? I guess with a sequel is like, okay, you could go like Joshua Pierce and them, but I feel like the entire connection was with Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt's fucked off to better ventures.
He's going to be the team principal, and he's not going to want to do it, and it's going to be like a failure at first, and then he's going to get good at it.
It would be almost more compelling if Brad Pitt comes back to be team principal, and then they just like are relegated to finishing fucking 7th every year. Like they're just 4th in the constructors. They can just never do anything. Like it's just the life of a mid-pack team.
Listen, that would have been more fun than fucking him going up and winning a race out of his ass.
I do agree. I think the big like the climax of the movie should have been like, yeah, just them getting a point as opposed to winning
like
a race,
a podium or something.
Where it's
in like a crazy race where they like get the strategy right, or there's like changing conditions or something. But it's like, no, they just bowl people out of the way, and then they show up the next week.
Yeah,
and
it's
they
like just
out of the
illustrate that like literally everything has to go right just to get a podium. Like,
yeah,
showcase how difficult it is. Like, this is the greatest fucking spectacle in the world. Instead, it's just like, nah, I'm gonna show up and fucking run people off the track, win, retire, fuck the girl in Las Vegas, my boss.
If they had done like more interesting things to win, it'd be sick. Like they pull some funky strategy, like they do something weird. Like it's just like, no, they wreck everyone, and then they wreck them again, and then they wreck them again. Then they hold them up as lappers, and then they wreck them again. I don't know. I feel like there's a billion things that we can pick apart in this fucking movie.
What was the point of the scene, by the way, where Joshua Pierce, like during the red flag in Abu Dhabi, where Josh gets out of the car, stares at Lewis Hamilton, Lewis stares back, and then just not like, I was like, okay.
I guess he didn't get a talking cameo. I'm kind of surprised because like Toto got one. They were both producers on the movie. Even Alonso got a closer shot than just Lewis standing there. But I think the whole point of that was them just being like, yes, Joshua Pierce is based off of a young Lewis Hamilton. That racist?
Like, yeah.
I think that's actually how it is.
I saw something that it was like vaguely based off of McLaren with Alonso and Hamilton together, but
yeah, vaguely. Just where there's an old man and a young kid. They don't get along. But then they do.
But do they?
Anyway,
yeah,
it just leaves me wanting more. It's not a classic. I feel like Rush is more of a classic. I feel like even Ford versus Ferrari I hold to a higher degree.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, it was exactly what I was expecting, where it was like action, visuals, sound design, absolute cinema, story. Okay, whatever.
I guess it's like a very old school story. Like all the older racing type movies sort of lend themselves more to the hospital scene racing movie. A modern like 2025 F1, like the hospital scene, like riding around, this guy gets hurt.
It's not groundbreaking. It's just a rehash of things you've already seen before.
It's Jerry Bruckheimer. That's all he fucking does is rehashes things you've already seen before. but like, I don't know. Deserve better.
Days of
That's
Thunder
it.
2, when we have to win the fucking Daytona 500. Dude, can you imagine a fucking Daytona 500 like next gen NASCAR movie these days? It's just Tom Cruise and he's like, I'm fifth in line. Let me go 3 wide. And he just goes straight to the fucking back of the field. Like it's just over. I'm stuck in the dirty air. God damn it. We have to fuel save here in stage 1. You got to go 150 miles per hour for half of the stage.
I dread that because however cheesy they let the F1 movie be, NASCAR is going to be like 5 times cheesier. Oof.
And Cole Trickle, in his return to the NASCAR Cup Series, has won the Daytona 500. He's in the playoffs, baby. Let's go.
I don't
Can you
even
imagine
want to think about that anymore. It's going to...
Cole Trickle, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott walk into Phoenix.
He's got to just pull the Sonny Hayes, just bowl them out of the way, win the title, and fucking bang.
Yeah, just fucking Cole Trickle's in the garage, and he's like, "Yeah, that's Ryan Blaney. Yeah, that's Chase Elliott over there. He doesn't exactly do much. Just Chase Elliott, fucking statue face, just says nothing, does nothing."
That's honestly how like a lot of the drivers felt in the F1 movies. They're just like shadows. They're just faceless. They're just kind of there. They're like, oh, it was George Russell's fault.
They were literally NPCs.
George is just on the podium afterwards, didn't get a penalty. I don't know.
I did see
I can only imagine the F1 drivers going to like the screening together and seeing the fucking like Max Verstappen scene where he just gets launched in Monza and just looking at each other like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I did appreciate the little middle finger out the fucking, like, yeah, fuck you, bud.
When was that?
From Verstappen when he was passing Sonny Hayes as the lapper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little moments like that were fun. I had fun. If, you know, despite me shitting on it the last however many minutes we've been talking about it, I did have a good time.
Oh, half an hour. Jesus Christ.
These things happen.
I should have ended this 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Shout
should have been 30 minutes ago.
Watch it if you haven't. It's a good experience still. You've watched it by now. You're here. You'll see it never. Did I play the music?